I'm a yoga instructor for over 10 years and I've been looking for a mat like this forever. I tried Jade Yoga Harmony and it kept falling apart for the same price. Then I tried manduka, but it was very annoying to roll out and it required some weird salting process beforehand. This mat though, has everything I'm looking for. It's very thick, so carries great knee protection without having to use any towels and blankets under the knee. The corkscrew material is excellent for durability and grip and conveniently matches my studio floors, which is another plus. I also love the length. I'm very tall and this is so comfy for savasana and doing splits entirely on the mat without stubbing my toes on the floor. Also excellent for headstand because I don't need extra cushion under my head. Finally,
this is exactly what I've been searching for. I've wanted a cork mat for years, but I've always hesitated. I could kick myself for waiting so long because this mat is great. It helps that the mat is extra large because I'm a taller dude and my feet would always come off my other mats when I lay prone. That's no longer a problem because I've got plenty of room. The thickness of this mat is another bonus because I need the extra cushion for my knees, but this thickness doesn't interfere with my balancing poses. If you sweat buckets, like I do, you will not slip. This mat is a welcome addition to my Body by Yoga collection. I'm glad I was able to get my hands on this mat, no regrets.
This Body by Yoga mat is my favorite of the 4 mats I have. It's longer, thicker, and wider than the others, giving me more space to get into position and stay there comfortably. Brbr In addition to yoga, I'm also a runner and have a regular regimen of weight training and use the mat for pre and post workout stretching and cool down. Brbr The cork keeps me from slipping and easy to wipe off. I wasn't sure about the guidelines on the surface at first, but now realize their benefit. The lines helped me realize I've not always been optimally positioned to take advantage of the lines. Help my orientation for max benefit, especially when switching from one side to the other. I naturally favor one side over the other, so this helps me stay balanced. Brbr like this mat so much I bought another as a gift to share the experience. Brbr highly recommend this mat. Great value.
I received this mat in perfect condition and tried it immediately. I really love the size and material the mat is made of. No matter how much I may drift, I never leave the mat. No matter how much I move, the mat stays put. No matter how much I sweat, the mat is not slippery. No matter how cold the floor, the mat is a good insulator. And finally, no matter how sore my feet are, the mat has a nice cushion. Well done BBY.
My first impression after unboxing my new Body by Yoga mat was love at first sight. I have been practicing yoga off and on for about 5 years now, and lately I have been practicing a lot more. I have been taking about 23 hot yoga classes a week lately, and while my old Lululemon non-slip mat was holding up great, the sweat stains were starting to get out of control and slightly embarrassing. I sweat more than the average person. I thought about getting another Lululemon mat since I loved it so much, but maybe in a darker, more inconspicuous color. After researching, I stumbled upon cork mats and was intrigued, so I decided to go with Body by Yoga because they had the best reviews on Amazon. This mat is heavy, and if you are switching from a traditional TJ Maxx style yoga mat, then this will be a shock for you. My Lulu mat was kind of on the heavy side, so this BBY mat being slightly heavier isn't an issue for me. Being that this mat is also significantly larger than my previous mat, I will have to purchase a larger, more durable mat strap. There was no smell to the mat, so I was excited by that. I tried a couple of poses on the mat at home and there was a bit of slip, but in class I spritzed my mat with water beforehand and was good to go with not one slip. Like I said, I sweat a ton during hot yoga, but none of it was visible on this mat, which adds a level of comfort that I never knew I wanted nor needed until now. The alignment lines are one of a kind, and even after 5 years of yoga I find that I constantly have to check my alignment and posture throughout my practice, but the lines make it much easier. I hope this review helps someone make the better decision, as I find this mat to be very special and worth every penny.
Listen, I am 63. Most yoga mats are quite a bit shorter than my body, which means that I'm hanging off the edges during cobra or locust, or even plank. I can use this mat and not have to worry about sweat pooling on my floor or having to choose what part of my body is gonna hang off the edge. Brbr The cork surface has a good texture, so it's easy to get a grip, no sliding feet or hands. I had a different cork mat before this and the cork surface was too finely processed, so it was very smooth. I found it easier to grip when wet, but I would slide when it was dry. This mat has a more pronounced texture, so it's much easier to stay in place. The padding is also great. I had surgery on my knee, so I really need it. Other thicker mats have always been really spongy, so it was really hard to do balancing poses. This padding is thick but firm, giving me the relief I need without compromising my stance.
I bought this yoga mat recently on a whim in an attempt to get back into practicing more, and I must admit that I was blown away by its quality. Not to mention that the mat itself is super stylish and fits in perfectly in any apartment. Additionally, most important to me is that I have bad knees, and the extra thickness of this mat provides the support I need for many poses that would otherwise bother me with cheaper, flimsier yoga mats. I've only had the opportunity to use this one so far, but I cannot wait to keep using it and improving my flow.
This mat is the Body by Yoga Man Flow Yoga Edition. Like the Body by Yoga cork mats, it is substantially longer and wider than even a large size, common yoga mat. It has a cork surface that is smooth and durable. The foam support is dense and thicker than my other high-quality yoga mats, more like the heavy-duty mats you see in a gym. The Man Flow Yoga Edition has a center line and a series of markers placed at 45 or perpendicular to the center line, in addition to the beautiful MFY logo in the center. Probably am heavier than the typical yogi, and I worried that the cork surface would tear or crack. I need not have been concerned. It is exceptionally tough and flexible. It laid flat when unrolled, out of the box. The surface definitely retards slipping. I did not realize, using my previous mats, how much energy I was putting into not slipping. I don't mean slipping and falling, but little bits of sliding on the foam surface, especially when sweaty, that made every movement and pose harder and caused tension in my feet and back. The cork layer of the mat is minimal. That would be fine if the bottom layer was actually made out of natural rubber like they claim. The description says natural rubber bottom, but it has a strong chemical smell and has a black foamy texture that resembles neoprene synthetic rubber. So, it's the thinnest layer of cork possible adhesive, some sort of synthetic foam rubber. Returning because I don't want to breathe in the fumes during yoga.
By far, the best yoga mat I've ever owned. The texture of the material isn't irritating, very soft to the touch and prevents slipping during a sweaty workout. The cushioning is also soft, but very supportive. It doesn't feel like you sink into the mat. The mat itself is very long, only 57, but I can definitely see how this would appeal to someone who is taller than 6. Because of the extra length, the mat is a bit heavier than the previous ones I've owned. Since I'm short, I've found the alignment guides especially useful, as I can quickly tell where the center of the mat is. Storage is also a breeze once it's rolled up. It doesn't try to unwind itself like I've seen in other mats. Probably definitely agree with the description that this is a luxury yoga mat. Definitely money well spent.